Fourth grade class, how to use Microsoft Word. The first thing we're going to do in this instruction is to open Microsoft Word. So you'll find Microsoft Word on your desktop and you'll click on it and it will open up Microsoft Word. If it does not open up to a blank document, you're going to want to go up to the File in the upper left hand corner and select New Blank Document. And that will open up a new blank document. Once your document is open, you'll notice that you have a little blinking cursor. This is where you're going to type. So you're going to want to type your content. I'm going to put North Carolina, and I have already got some artwork that I'm going to, or some information that I've taken off of Wikipedia about North Carolina. So there's our content. Once you have your content in place, and the content is the words you're going to type, we can now go back through and change things so that it fits what we want it to fit. One of the things that we're going to need to do is at the beginning of every paragraph, we're going to need to indent the paragraph to show that we're starting a new paragraph. You can do this by selecting the Tab key on your keyboard. So go through at every new paragraph and create an indentation. The next thing we might want to do is we're going to want all of our font, which is the different ways the letters look and appear, to be the same. So we're going to come up here to Font, and we're going to select a font size. Usually 12 is appropriate. And then we're going to come here and we're going to select a font style, which is how it will appear. Now if you look, it's changed all the font. You can change the size by selecting a different size. Here's 8, makes it small. 36 makes it really big. But we're going to go back here to 12. This current style I have selected is Arial. We could also select any number of different styles and it changes the look of the letters. A pretty standard style is Times New Romans. So, and you can see all these different styles and different examples of what they're going to look like. You can do this after you've created or your content to change it, or you can do this before so that as you're typing, that's what it's going to look like. So we've selected Times New Roman, font size 12. Now we come in here and we want to do our line spacing. This is all single space. In other words, it goes from line to line to line. If we want to change this, we would select the text by left clicking and then selecting whatever text we wanted. We could come up here to this tab and then we can select, if we want it double spaced, we select 2 and see how this here has become double spaced versus this here, which is single spaced. Whatever you highlight is going to change to that kind of spacing. If we wanted to do that 3, and it's now 3, so it's 3 spaces in between each line. Let's go back over the entire document. Select the entire document by left clicking on your mouse and dragging it all the way through so that everything's highlighted, and we'll double space everything. You can also see that there's 1.5, there's 2.5, so we'll double space everything. Now you'll notice this North Carolina here is bolded. Right here is your B for bold. If you want to remove the bold, you can come up here and you can remove the bold. If you want to, you'll also notice that the southern United States is a different color and it's underlined. So we can highlight this the same way. We left click on our mouse and drag it across the southern United States, and we hit our underline, and that underlines it. And if we want to underline it, we click on it and it underlines it. If we want to change the color scheme, we come up here to this A, and it changes to a black instead of the blue. Now, if you want to change, let's say you want the whole first line to be red, the triangle just to the right that says font color, you click on it and it's going to bring you up a color palette. So you can click on red, and now it's all red. But we're going to want everything to be black. So we're going to underline that, come back up here, we're going to make it all black. Okay, and you can see if you wanted to do the whole document like this, you could, like, we've got all these things that are underlined and colored. So we come up here and we underline everything. Everything's underlined, but if you don't want anything underlined, you underline it. If we want everything black, you click on the black and it's black. If you want everything red, what do? You click on the red and everything's red. So let's turn it all to black. Now another thing that you'll notice within the text is some of this stuff has a slant to it. That's called italics. What we're going to do is we're going to highlight it, and you can come up here, see how that just highlighted the I? That stands for italic. So you're going to, if you want it to be normal, you click on that. If you want it to be slanted, you click on that. So we're going to unclick that. So we have our text. We've gone through how to have font sizes, line spacing, color, bold, italics, underline. The other thing we need to do is spell check, just to make sure that everything is spelled correctly. So we come up here to our tools box and we go to spelling and grammar and we click on it. And it is going to run through the whole document, and it's going to check the whole document. Oh, I misspelled Carolina. So it's going to give me options on how to spell Carolina. You can see it goes through and gives me all these options. It didn't give me the option I needed. So we're going to change that, and once you have it correct, you're going to hit there, and we want it to continue checking. Oh, see, it found something else wrong. Now this is, so we're going to hit ignore if you want to ignore it. And see, it's going through the whole document looking for, if you find it, you can change it to that. You can change it. This says it doesn't have any options, so you just keep going, and it's the spell check has gone through and everything. Most of these words are going to be correct because I pulled this off of the internet instead of typing it up myself. If you type things up yourself, you might have more spelling errors depending on how quickly you're going and what kind of speller you are. Okay, so the next thing we're going to want to do once we have our document typed, we have all our paragraphs the way we want them, we have all our line spacing and color set, we're going to save. Now we can come up here to File and we can click on Save, and what that's going to do is that's just going to save it. It's going to give us an option, Save As. Now we can name it, whatever we want to name it. We'll call this North Carolina, that's fine. And then it tells us where. When we go to where, it's going to give us all the different places that we can save it. These are all different folders that we have in our computer. Or if you have a jump drive, you can save it to a jump drive. Or if you have a, if you want to burn it to a CD, you could save it to a CD or a floppy disk. We're going to go ahead and save this on our desktop, which is that screen that comes up when we first turn on our computer, so we know right where it is. So we hit desktop and we hit save. Now there's another option with saving. We can go save and save as. We're going to do the same thing. See, it's Carolina, but if we wanted to, say we wanted a second copy of it just to make sure it's safe. So we're going to put North Carolina 1. This creates the exact same document, and then if we wanted to save this somewhere else, we could save this to Documents. And then we can save. So now we've got this same document in two different places. That way we can edit and change this, and we still have our original document. Lastly, once you're completely done and satisfied, you've got all your paragraphs correct, you've got all the line spacing, everything the way you want it, is you're going to want to print it so you can turn it in. So you go to File, Print, and you hit Print. And it's going to bring up your print. I have no printer selected. If you come in here and select a printer, you can select a printer. And then once you have your printer selected, you can come down here and you select the print function right there, and it will allow you to print. And then you go over to the printer, retrieve your document, and that is how you use Microsoft Word to create a report for your class.